Most Uber drivers think that high gas prices are killing their earnings, but the real problem isn't the pump, it's when you drive. If you're out 8 or 10 hours and you still feel broke after filling up, well, this video's for you. I'm going to show you how I pick my hours here in Jacksonville, avoid dead miles, and use a simple gas drag number to make sure I'm actually making money when gas is high. I drive Uber Black and XL out here in Jacksonville, Florida. And in this video for the Gridwise channel, we're talking about how to make more money for Uber when the gas prices are really high. The one metric I look at when most drivers ignore. How I choose my hours so I'm not just sitting out here all day. How I avoid dead zones and bad trips. And how I stack fuel programs and tracking tools so I'm not guessing on my profit. First, let's talk about gas in a way that it actually helps you make decisions. By the end of March, rideshare drivers were spending around 17% of their gross earnings on gas. That's almost 1 in every $5 going straight into the tank instead of your pocket. You can't control the prices on the sign, but you can control how efficiently you turn each gallon into earnings. Think about gas as this: gas drag. Gas drag is just a percentage of hourly earnings that gets eaten by fuel. So let's say 1 hour you make $20 and you burn about $3 worth of gas. That's 15% gas drag. Same car, same city. Now, if you change nothing but gas prices, but work a busier window and make $27 an hour with the same $3 worth of gas, suddenly your gas drag is more like 11%. Pump price didn't move, but your gas drag dropped because you made a better use of your time. That's the key mindset shift. Stop obsessing over every penny at the pump and start obsessing over how much you make per hour and per mile when gas is high. I track my earnings, my miles, and my fuel so I can see that gas drag week over week. I don't want to guess. I want to know, did this week's schedule actually beat last week, or did I just drive more for the same money? Tools like Gridwise make that easier because you can bring your earnings and your mileage into one place, and it helps you see the real profit per mile looks like instead of just feeling it. Now let's talk about what I actually do on the road here in Jacksonville, because it really depends on the day of the week. When gas is high and demand is spotty, I'm not trying to be a hero and grind 12 hours straight. I'm trying to hit the right 3 to 5 hours and call it a day. Here's how my week usually looks. For me in Jacksonville, depends on the day of the week and the time of the year. Mondays, I usually work midday until evening because you get that mix of airport runs and people going to work or out to dinner. Tuesdays, they can surprise you at night. So if I'm going out, I'm leaning to the evening where at least some demand instead of dragging throughout a slow day. Wednesdays and Thursdays right now, honestly, they're pretty weak. I don't force it. If it's dead, I either stay at home or I just run a tight little block during whatever small peak there might be. Fridays, I work either during the daytime or at night depending on what's going on. Daytime for airport errands, nighttime for people going out. Saturday nights are usually strong, so I'd rather save my gas for that than waste it all week on slow shifts. The Sundays during the day are nice because there's a lot of airport traffic, people coming back from trips. And right now here in Florida, it's slow season. It's all about getting the right hours, not just more hours. Every dead hour you sit is gas burned with nothing to show for it. When it's slow season, I tighten up even more. I still hit those Monday and Sunday windows, my weekend blocks, but if a time block is dead 2 or 3 weeks in a row, I stop forcing it. I'd rather stack 2 really strong days, like a Friday night and a Saturday night, than burn gas all week chasing maybe money. High gas prices punish lazy scheduling. If you just go out and hope, you're going to feel that pain at that pump. The more intentional you are with your hours, the lower your gas drag is going to be. But instead of trying to remember all that in my head, I have data to back it up. That's where the app like Gridwise helps. I can see which hours and days actually pay the best for me in Jacksonville. I can compare week by week, month by month. Then I plan around those windows so I'm not wasting gas on hours that are dead and wasting my time just sitting in my car. Instead of guessing, I like to look at the charts. Then I can plan my schedule around those windows. That's how I protect my gas. I'm putting my fuel into hours that historically make me the most money per mile. The next big piece when gas is high is dead miles and bad trips. When gas was cheaper, you could get away with being a little sloppy. Now, every pointless mile hurts. Here's how I handle it. I don't chase pings across town. If I'm getting offers 10 or 15 minutes away from slow areas, that's literally me paying to maybe get a base fare ride. I'd rather reposition a short distance toward a known hotspot and wait there. I also watch out for trips that dump me into dead zones, areas where I know requests are going to be slow, unless that trip is paying extra or it has a surge. I usually let those go because that ride there plus the deadhead back makes my gas drag for that hour skyrocket. For long trips, I ask 2 questions. Is there a surge or a bonus attached? And what's on the other end? If I'm going towards a busy city, a stadium, or an airport where I'm likely to get another ride, great. If I'm going 45 minutes into the middle of nowhere for a base rate, I'm probably declining that. Again, tracking helps. When you see your numbers, you realize every time I go to a specific suburb, my profit per mile tanks. That's your sign to stop taking low-paying rides out there unless they're truly worth it. The last piece is actually using the fuel programs and discounts that exist. Look, I'm not saying the perks from Uber, Lyft, or anyone else are perfect, but when gas prices are high, those little percentages and per gallon discounts actually matter. If you can stack a card that gives you cash back on gas, plus some of those current platform promos, plus a fuel rewards program, that might shave 10 or 15% off your gas bill. That's the difference between gas taking, say, 17% of your earnings versus more like 12 to 13%. Over a month, that's real money. This is where having your gas and miles in one place, again, helps. If you're tracking with something like Gridwise, you can see what you actually pay for gas after discounts and compare that to your weekly earnings. That's how you know whether a new card or a fuel program is actually helping or just marketing. Listen, you can't control the price of the pump, but you can control the gas drag. You do that by doing this: working your strongest hours instead of just more hours, killing dead miles and being picky about trips that dump you into bad areas, stacking those fuel discounts and programs that actually move the needle, and tracking your earnings, your miles, and your gas so you always know what your real profit per mile is. And if this helped, hit a like so Gridwise knows this is the kind of content you want. Drop a comment with your city and your best times to drive, and subscribe for more real strategies from drivers who are actually out here on the road.